Morning, Joe and the Pro. It's Monday. I'm the Prez. We've got Teddy Covers with us, sponsored by WagerTalk TV. You can find us at YouTube, WagerTalk, and at WagerTalk.com. And you can find Teddy always at both WagerTalk.com and Sports Memo. You're a happy man today. I take it you had Dallas?
I did have Dallas. Why, did you have Philly last night?
Oh, yeah, I had Philly, yes. I lost the game because of a missed extra point and some incredibly bad refereeing decisions. But that's part of the course for me right now.
Yeah, you're struggling right now of late, Prez. Let's talk about it because, look, this is the truth of it. You and I have been in this game for a long time. And there are times where the games are just jumping off the page at you. And boom. On Monday, you talked about it last week. You're like, on Monday morning, I know who I'm playing, for the next week. There's times that can and does happen successfully. There are other times that it doesn't. And when you're struggling, what do you do when that happens, Lawrence?
The biggest problem I have, Teddy, when I'm struggling is that I'm second-guessing my original instincts. And, that's the part that I have to stop doing. When I'm in the zone and I'm feeling it, you're right. I wake up on Monday, I look at the card, games jump out at me. I write 6 or 7 games down. I go research them. I get it down to, 3, 5, 2. And I release them, by, Tuesday night. When I'm struggling, I do exactly the same process, and then I'm too scared to reach them. And then I call you. What do you think? What does Marco think? What does Tony think? Then I do a whole bunch of shows and listen to all these other talking heads. Then I start second-guessing every pick that I have. And what ultimately happens is I put out the losers of the 6 or 7 that I originally like.
Sure.
And I get rid of the winners. But that's not what happened this weekend. This weekend I promised myself I would just release the plays early, on instinct, after research, and see what happens. And I should have had a great day yesterday. I had the over in the Carolina-Cleveland game. I mean, it's 17-17 at half. I need 2 touchdowns. There was a missed extra point because I had 46.5 that would have made it 47. So a missed extra point cost me in that game. And then Carolina had first and goal from the 4-yard line at the end of the game. And you know something, Teddy? Betting aside, those were terrible play calls. Like, if you run Cam up the middle or to the side 4 times, you're getting in one of them.
I don't disagree, but I mean, everyone was talking about how great North Turner's offense was for the Panthers earlier in the season, and they started losing games, and that first and goal was brutal. If you had, Carolina wasn't in great shape to cover even with that, although they go for 2. They kicked the extra point there, wouldn't they have? They win by 1.
Well, it didn't matter to me. I had the over, so it made no difference. I just needed a score there. And it was shocking to watch. I mean, you lose the game because of a missed extra point by Cleveland, and then Carolina can't convert on 4 tries at the 4-yard line with the biggest, most powerful running quarterback maybe ever.
Okay. So that explains your bad hair day?
No. Actually, it does explain it because I was so mad last night. I didn't get to sleep till like 5, 6 in the morning.
And, yes. So
what? And then I had to wake up. Then I had to wake up early to do Gabe Morency's show. I was so out of it during that show. I then went back to bed, and now I woke up just to do this show. So yeah, that's why I have a bad hair day. Yeah. And then the other game I had was Philadelphia, which they get a fumble right to start the game, and for some inexplicable reason, they didn't get the ball. The fumble didn't count. And the way it ended, last week I had Pittsburgh. San Diego gets a touchdown off of a deflection.
LA.
Again, we had the exact same thing. 3rd and 9 in overtime. Dallas would easily and happily kick the field goal there. Bad throw by Dak, like usual. Off the hands of a defenseman and right into Amari Cooper's basket. Walks into the end zone. Teddy's clients are happy and mine are pissed off.
I mean, I'm not going to say that Dallas or Philly was the right side in that game. All right, but Philly was not the right. Well, they weren't a right side winner, and Dallas wasn't a right side winner. They went back and forth across the number.
But whatever the case may be,
twice in the last 5 minutes, Dallas was covering, and twice in the last 5 minutes, Philly marched down the field and put the ball in the end zone. So,
actually, 3 times they made some idiotic pass interference call.
Yes, but
that was like brutal.
I mean, the refs were heavily involved in that ball game. That's frustrating. Doesn't matter what side you have. When the refs are throwing flags again and again, or not throwing flags in obvious situations, but the refs took over that game in the fourth quarter, and that's frustrating when that happens. You want to be on the right side of the refs in that game, and you weren't. So my condolences to you. It wasn't a wrong side loser. I didn't have a right side winner, but you're going to have coin flip games, and how your season goes in the NFL has a lot to do with, did I win my coin flip games or didn't? Yesterday I won mine. You didn't win yours. And that's why you're sitting here looking so miserable on a Monday, where I'm all fat and happy because I won 3 out of 4 this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the issue for me, Teddy, is, and you know this, I speak to you all the time, I don't win coin flips in poker, and I don't win coin flips in football. I mean, you know, I've had 4 80-plus yard touchdowns against me in 3 weeks. 3 of them were on unders. It drives me nuts, man. I tell you, these people out there think we have the best job in the world. Oh, you know,
that's the beauty of it, though. I mean,
we get to talk sports, watch sports, bet sports. Dude, I was like ready to kill myself last night.
Sure, dude. That's I mean, there's so many funny things about this. My goal of this pod is to get you smiling and laughing by the end, because look. We have shitty days. We have bad beats. It's going to happen to all of us. We've all been there, and you're allowed to be pissed off. You're allowed to kick you're not allowed to kick the dog, but kick the dog and yell at the wife and beat the kids, whatever you're going to do after a bad night. You're not allowed to carry that forward in the next week, because that's when you start having hangovers and bad week on bad week on bad week. You have to find something that is therapeutic, in the sense of when you're done with it, your mind is clear.
Well, I had a very therapeutic night last night. It just kept me up all night.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that helps me on podcasts, about talking about stuff on podcasts, is that I get it out of my system. I talk about this beat or that game, and then it's done. And I'm not worried about it afterwards. So for this podcast, get all your bitching and moaning out of the way, and remember. The goal of this podcast, A, to give good information, B, to make it's not here to make us look like clowns. All right? You're not here to
Speaking about good information, last week we got in a lot of trouble from only one person who rightfully said it's Monday and you and Teddy didn't discuss the Monday night football game. And that was a reasonable assessment. But here is the problem. You're playing on tonight's game. You've got a big...
I have no action on tonight's game.
Oh, you don't have so don't you have a big ticket up, or is that for next week?
That's for the bowl. My first big ticket of bowl season is up. Yeah, absolutely. New Mexico Bowl.
Because I did see a lot of big ticket sales today. I am playing on tonight's game. If I'm playing the over, you can be rest assured there will be a lot of turnovers in the end zone. If I'm playing the under... there will be at least 3 90-yard runs. If I'm playing Seattle, Minnesota will win the game in the last second on a Hail Mary or a Miami Miracle, etc., etc. But I got a game tonight. I got to play tonight.
You sound so confident.
Oh, Brad. Yeah, dude. I am confident. I'm confident that everything will go wrong.
So you're suggesting that people buy your play to fade it?
I'm suggesting they do whatever they want, Teddy. How about you tell us your thoughts on tonight's game? Gabe and I on his show today spoke about it. And he made a comment like, why overthink this, Prez? Seattle is one of the hottest teams in football. They're impossible to play against at home. They're almost unbeatable in December. Minnesota's reeling. Cousins is putting up a lot of stats, but just doesn't look good. His attitude was, why overthink it? Just take Seattle. What do you think?
Because, okay, why overthink it? Who's overthinking it? Seattle 6-5, or Seattle is 7-5, Minnesota 6-5-1. When you look at the NFC playoff picture, right? And mind you, I'm passing on the game. I did not bet Minnesota in this game, but there's a strong case. I think and equally there seems to be a lot of support for Seattle. And no one overthink it, the hotter team, yada yada. I think there's a reasonable case to be made for the Vikings here in the fact of A, Zimmer is a dog. B, Zimmer's got a great long-term and short-term track record catching points on the highway. B, Seattle's offense is predicated on the ability to run the football. If they cannot run the football, it's all Russell Wilson. And while Russell Wilson's having a great season, the Seahawks offense doesn't work when they're not running the ball. Can't run the ball in Minnesota. We can't expect Seattle to be dominating the line of scrimmage against the Vikings. So you can make reasonable cases for the Vikings to hang around in this game. Honestly, to me, it feels like a push on the side. I think Seattle wins this game by a field goal in that range. It's not a game I even came close to getting involved with, but there's a decent case to be made for the defensive-minded underdog in Minnesota, especially, and I want to point this out. Let me just pull it up real quick. When you look at the standings, you're like, oh, well, they're out of it. When you're in the NFC playoff picture right now, it's so clear. Let me just pull it up. I apologize for not having it up already, but somehow or other I X'd out of it. But the bottom line is, from a playoff perspective, these Vikings that are out of it, they're not out of it.
Who said they're out of it? They're holding the last spot.
Minnesota and Seattle are both at 5 and the 6 seed. The team I was thinking about was with Green Bay at 5-7-1. Green Bay is live to steal a playoff berth. And if you're looking for long shots right now, Packers at 5-7-1 are live to do so.
Well, and especially given the schedule of some of the teams in front of them. I mean, it's not an easy road for a lot of those teams that are fighting for the last wild card spot.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about I want something in the 50-1 range, someone that's live at 40-1 or 50-1. And
wouldn't that be a hell of a story? Green Bay out of the blue.
What about Dallas? Dallas was 3-5.
Well, how about Indianapolis?
Sure, they were 1 exactly, and the Colts are live. Colts cashed me out. Please tell me you had the Colts in your card yesterday.
Nope, I had the over.
Oh.
And a terrible call by Bill O'Brien.
Surprise.
7 minutes left in the game, 4th down at midfield. I don't know how you punt the ball there, Teddy. I don't care if it's 4th and 9. It's baffling to me. I mean, these coaches just can't figure out game management.
Well, the people are going crazy at the Steelers-Raiders game yesterday, where the Steelers weren't calling timeouts when Oakland was 1st and goal.
It's unbelievable.
I'm with Tomlin on that. I might be the only one. When I have the lead, I am not calling timeouts to preserve time. No way.
Why?
Make them beat me. And look at what happened. Pittsburgh got the ball. Boom. Field goal rate. They didn't lose the game because they didn't have time. They lost the game because A, they didn't get a stop, and B, because the kicker missed a field. The kicker fell down on the field goal attempt. Not because they didn't have time. Twitter is such a bully, man. Oh, they all start screaming and yelling. They're going crazy. I was trying to get a smile out of you. Nothing, dude. You're not even watching.
I'm smiling, dude. I'm getting a kick out of you. You gotta.
Twitter's going absolute insanity. Like the worst possible thing any coach could ever do is Tomlin not calling timeouts with a lead and the other team driving.
Dude, I feel that way. Although I wouldn't have gone crazy on Twitter. Teddy, you got a free pick for the listeners today?
I do. We're going to the NBA for tonight, free play wise, and I'm still a little baffled by this number. I understand Kyrie Irving's out. I understand Gordon Hayward's out. Celtics laying points at home against a Pelicans team that can't win on the highway, to me, makes a hell of a lot of sense. New Orleans has been dismal in hostile environments all year long. Boston is a bet-on team all the way. I know they got guys out tonight. Celtics are deep. You lay 4.5. Shoot, if you shop around, you can find a 4 with Boston right now. I would lay it with the Celtics. That's the free play for Monday.
And I have a free play for you all, but I don't have the deep voice that Teddy ends his free plays with. In hockey tonight.
Get some tonality in there. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
In hockey tonight, the New Jersey Devils are on the road against San Jose. The total is 6, which is pretty regular. It's 6 on almost every game. I like under the total in this hockey game. 2 good goalies. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, so take under 6 in San Jose and New Jersey. And Teddy, let's look ahead quickly.
Because I want to ask people. I'm looking right now. I'm seeing 6 over 25, 6 over 30. I'm seeing a couple of 6.5s out there. Not many, but a couple of them. You think people should wait and see if they can find a 6.5? Should they get down on 6 at the plus price?
Listen, if they can get a 6.5, I would take the 6.5 because so many.
Do you want to wait or do you want to bet it now?
I would bet it now. I don't think we're going to see a move to 6.5. It's very rare that these games are moving a half in goals. I would take it now and take the plus money. Let's look ahead to week 15 quickly, and some of the line moves that might happen. The KC game, they're hosting the Chargers. This game is unbelievable. I mean, the Chargers have had a hell of a season. KC is still in the driver's seat for home field advantage throughout the playoffs, but they really do need to win this game. They've already beat the Chargers once this year. It's -3 and a hook. Do you think that hook is going to disappear? I do not.
It'll probably depend on the injury situation for Kansas City. Kansas City was a banged-up team coming out of yesterday's game. Really banged up. Spencer Ware, Tyreek Hill. Of course, Watkins hasn't been healthy. And you have an offense that needs playmakers to function at this level. And right now they don't have their complement of playmakers. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, looks like Melvin Gordon is going to play. And I heard that Eric Berry is likely to make his debut with KC this week. A difference maker on the defense side of the football for the Chiefs. But for the Chargers, the key injury is Gordon. Where's this line going? What are you asking me now?
Yeah, where's this line going?
It's going to go. It's going to be 3.5 all week.
Yeah, I think it'll stay exactly where it is.
Yeah.
A couple of other quick games from a line move perspective. Indianapolis is on that important number of -3 against Dallas. I again feel like there's no chance this is going to 3.5. If anything, you might see a 2.5, but I think this line will stay firm.
No, I think we'll see 2.5 here. In fact, this is a game that we talked about as I do every Monday morning. I do the opening line report podcast over at Sports Memo with Drew Martin. That's audio only, so you can't see our beautiful faces. But we talked about this game as being one where there's a legitimate potential for this line to go to 2.5. If you like Dallas, grab the 3 now.
And let's talk about the Rams and Philadelphia. -9 for the Rams against an Eagles team that isn't out of it yet and did show some moxie in the fourth quarter last night. The Rams are not blowing teams out, Teddy. -9 seems like a high number. I think we're going to see a 7.5.
No, I don't. This is circle the wagon spot for the Rams off a loss. It's an Eagles team that just lost. They were on I'm going to see the time of possession numbers. I feel like
it was almost 2-1.
Yeah, Philly's defense had to be on the field for well over 40 minutes in that ball game. But just let me just call out the numbers real quick so I can be accurate and not kind of sort of in the position. But it's an Eagles defense that was on the field with the fucking time 45 minutes and 33 seconds yesterday.
It's unbelievable.
So a team off a loss, a Philly team off a loss. Off an overtime loss that was on the defense on the field for 45 minutes and going against the Rams, and the Rams just had a shitty game. I don't want any part of Philly on Sunday night. I'll tell you that. This line's only going up.
He's Teddy. I'm the Prez. You're watching Morning Joe and the Pro. We have no line up on the Pittsburgh-New England game unless you're seeing something.
No line. We don't know if Big Ben's going to play.
Yeah, that's going to be a big football game. Out of the blue, Baltimore can sneak up and win this division. Mm-hmm. What a year, Teddy. I mean, we talk about this every year, but I'll tell you something. In the 18 years of me doing this, I don't think I've seen a year as topsy-turvy as this in my life.
I like it this way. I'm at 60% for the season. I'll take it topsy-turvy anytime.
He's Teddy. I'm the Prez, and we're done. Teddy, it was awesome seeing you. I feel better. I'm rejuvenated.
Go fix your hair.
Bugger off, you schmuck. Thanks for watching, listeners, and make sure to check back tomorrow. Big announcement. Alex B. Smith from the Sports Book Reviews Hockey Show has now been retained by Sports Memo. We're putting that hockey show back together. It starts tomorrow, so make sure to tune in. It's called Puck Time. I'll be hosting 2 shows a day from now on, Morning Joe and the Pro and Puck Time, which is a hockey show. We're going 5 days a week. Teddy, thanks, brother, and we'll speak to you later. All the best.
Hang on, you're doing a hockey pod 5 days a week?
Yeah.
Does anyone do a hockey pod 5 days a week?
People who like hockey.
All right, cool. Good luck with that, man. Let's pump up some hockey, man. Go beat them. How are guys doing in hockey? You doing good in hockey?
I'm doing great in hockey. I'm up double-digit units on the Euro, slightly under 60%. And I haven't really had a bad week yet. The thing about hockey, Teddy, is the guys who do hockey live, sleep, and eat it. Mm-hmm. Whereas a lot of guys who do NFL might be really good at other sports, but with NFL being such a dominant seller in our industry, they tend to push more. Hockey is a very intuitive sport for the people who play it, and also the lines aren't factored in. You don't need a team to win by 4 and miss an extra point.
Okay. Well, good luck with hockey. Enjoy the hockey podcast. Check it out right here on the Lawrence Prezman podcast station. Yeah, you're a host. I'll give you a hint. If you're going to start hosting every day, get a freaking get something that's not like some ratty old sweatshirt and a messed up hair.
Bye, Teddy.
Look sharp. Look like you did something good.
Bye.
Ciao for now.